Okay, guys. So today I took a really long walk because I couldn't. I ordered some stuff on eBay, but I couldn't wait for it. So I walked around, so like a few miles around my place to various computer stores, but they didn't have anything. So I just got back. Well, I got back a while ago. I ate and then I lied down. And today is February 9th, and it's dark outside. So I thought I'd share with you a New York love story. All right. So the way this love story came about is because one day on Urban Fiction I shared this post. I said this girl who lives in New York on the east side of Central Park, overlooking the park itself, and someone at a party asked her, "What's it like, living over Central Park?" Because it sounds wonderful. And she said, the view is beautiful, but my mood is getting a little bit dark. And so, and so, what is the genesis of that story? Why does it make sense? Other than that, it's true. Um, and I'm going to withhold the names. It's based on real events. Well, I heard her story, right, from a friend of mine, um, who's from New York City, and the story goes like this. All right, this girl, um, the reason her mood, is getting a little bit dark, she lives in a great location overlooking Central Park, is because when you live on the east side of Central Park and you're looking at the park, you're facing west. So every morning, you know, your back, every morning the sun rises in the east and you have your back to it, like a wall. Your apartment wall blocks the rising sun. So all you see in the morning is just fog, right? And then you head out the door to work, and then after work, when in the evening time, when you head back home, all you see is the setting sun. Every day of your life, you wake up, right? And you look out the window, it's just fog. And then you head to work. Every night you come home, it's always the setting sun. So it's beautiful view, but your mood gets a little bit dark. So that's the reason, because the sun rises on the east, sets on the west, right? So you want an apartment, right? On a clear day, the real estate agent shows you this apartment on a clear day. All you see is just Central Park, so beautiful. And so you start enjoying the view. But then suddenly your mood gets a little bit dark. Why? Because every morning when you wake up, the sun sets on it rises on the east, but you got a wall here, right? And then every night you come home, the sun is always setting, right? You think it's romantic until 300th day, maybe 420th day, and the sun is constantly setting, and every morning it's just constant fog, and then every night it's constantly setting, like about the 420th day, the setting sun starts, like your mental clock is just like, right? After a while, you're just like, right? Like you're just going fucking like you're just going a little bit crazy, right? So I understand why she felt that way, right? So I heard the story goes like this. So this girl lived in that apartment, And she lived in a building, right? Like a square building. And she lived in that apartment facing Central Park. On the other side of the wall was another apartment, right? And a boy lived in it. And and his view was like he lived east of Central Park, but he instead of looking at Central, he was looking at the ocean. He pulled Mount Manhattan. He was looking at the ocean. So every morning the sun would rise, right? And 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 he would wake up, right? The sun would rise in his bedroom, right? And like he's in his bedroom, and the sun would rise through his window, and it was like almost saying to him, "Wake up, little boy." Every morning, right? Wake up, little boy, right? So every morning, right? This guy, right? This boy who lived in the other apartment, right? Would like he's like just go like this, sun, and just like the sun would just rise on the east, it would stretch, and the sunlight was like all over his face, all warm. It's almost like saying to him, "Wake up, little boy." Every day of his life, like by the 420th day, right? The sun was like just bathing his face every morning, just like wake up, little boy, right? So he was always in this incredible, like ebullient mood, right? And like unlike her, right, where she wakes up and it's all fog, and then after work she goes home and it's always setting, right? When he goes home, right, the moon is rising up, right, and the stars come out, right? So so he doesn't have a view of Central Park. He has a view of the street, right? So in a warm summer day, right, he opens his window, and the moon has just come up, right, and the stars starting to go out, and you can hear people walking on the sidewalk, laughing and talking to one another in groups, right? And you can hear like the restaurants all busy, right? And you hear like music from cars driving by, right? And so this guy, this boy on the other side of her wall, right, is like just having an incredible like experience. By like the 420th day, right? He is like just like jubilant, like just joyous, right? Joyous guard, right? On the other side, right? She comes home, the sun is setting, so she turns on TV. She watches 6 o'clock news. She sees the crime downtown, right? And then she sees, she sees them talking on the news about another politician being arrested, and then she's watching all these women discuss issues, like women issues, right? Like every day of her life. Right? She comes home and sun's always setting. She turns on TV, and that's all she sees, right? Like crime downtown, politicians getting busted, arrested, and then women come on talking about issues facing women. On the other side of the wall, facing the ocean, right? In the morning, like the sun rises up and the rays just bathe this boy's face. It's like, wake up, little boy, wake up, right? Time for work, right? So he jumps out of bed, he gets ready, he goes out of bed, right? He goes to work, right? And at night comes home, right? And it's like beautiful New York summer or New York spring, right? And the moon's just risen and the stars coming out and the streets alive and just busy and and he opens the window and he can't believe it, right? Like this is like the quintessential New York experience, right? Like he's in total complete heaven, right? He sticks his head out, he might say, "Hi, hey you guys, how's it going? It's so beautiful, eh?" Like he's just like so overjoyed, like just incredibly overwhelmed, right? Like every day of his life, he's just incredibly overwhelmed. And so every morning, right, in the same building, they leave, right? And like people are scratching their heads, like the girl's very depressed, right? And the boy is like extremely happy, right? So they don't know why. So the girl, the girl, I kid you not, somebody told me this story. So the girl, in her depressed mood, starts getting involved with all these social cons, like because all she sees is like on the news, crime and poverty and corrupt politicians and stuff. But the boy on the other side, right, is just like soaking in, just soaking in the New York state of mind, like every night of his life, right? And he doesn't do anything, but he's so happy all the time. And while she, like they leave the building around the same time, she's so depressed, but she's like involved in all these causes. He is so happy, but he doesn't do anything at all. And so that was the story that was conveyed to me about this apartment in New York City. All right, so that's what I did today. I went for a walk, looked for was shopping for some computer parts, and I came home, ate, and then had a nap, and then I thought I'd share that story with you. Have a good weekend. It's Saturday night. See you later.